Welcome! This is a Finally Bee learning tutorial for pollinator variables. Pollinator variables are used to collect different types of information about job seekers. Today I will show you an overview of how to dissect and apply Pollinator URL. Apply pollinators contain all the job-related variables because they are placed on the Apply buttons of job description pages. Unlike join pollinators that are not placed on job description pages and are typically lighter, containing only campaign variables. Let's take a look. First, open your preferred browser. Today I'm using Safari. Then type jobs.ib-demo.com into the address and search field and hit enter. This is the career site for IB Corporation, Finally's demo organization. Go ahead and click on Search Jobs and then on Analyst. You'll notice that as I click on the Apply button, an Apply pollinator appears. What's behind the pollinator? Join me in right-clicking on the Apply button. Then select Copy Link. Then open up a new tab and paste the URL into the address bar. Great, now let's take a further look. At the beginning of the pollinator URL is the pollinator domain name, connect.find.ly. Next, the short code IBApply, then followed by a question mark. The question mark separates the pollinator name and the variables, and if it is forgotten, the URL won't work. Next, you see CP equals. Here, CP stands for campaign variable. This tells me that the campaign variable is IB job alert. Campaign variables, in short, are used to source and group people into job folders in Waggle. Notice that a single space between words is a %20. This helps the browser read the URL. And that all the variables are separated by ampersands. For a more in-depth look at campaign variables, check out the Campaign Variables video on our Finally Bee Learning page. Let's move on to the next variable. AR equals 3793269. This is the AR variable. AR stands for Actual Job Rec Number. If passed, the AR variable automatically creates a folder in Waggle. The Waggle folder is also named by the AR variable. After a job seeker goes through a pollinator with the AR variable, they are then automatically added into that job folder. For a more detailed look, please check out the Waggle Auto Job Folders from Job Recs video on our Finally Bee Learning page. Let's take a look at the next variable. GL equals San Antonio, Texas. This is the GL or the general location variable. This tells recruiters what geographic area a job seeker is interested in. That information is passed along to Buzz so that job seekers then receive highly targeted emails. After the GL variable, you'll see GJ equals administration. This is the general job string variable. This is used to capture info about what kind of jobs a person is interested in. That info is also passed along to Buzz. Next, you'll see D equals. D is the final destination URL. This will be where the job seeker ends up after going through the pollinator. Let's try making more sense of it. First, copy the URL starting from D equals and ending just before the ampersands. The ampersands is what separates the rest of the pollinator variables. Here I've navigated to a free online tool called the URL decoder/encoder. To access, click here. I can then paste D equals and then the rest of the URL. Then click on Decode. I am given a clear destination URL. In this case, the job seeker will be deposited onto the application page for this job. And the last pollinator variable in this URL is JT equals analyst. JT stands for job title variable. What's the benefit for a recruiter of using the JT variable? Well, remember that the AR variable automatically creates a job folder in Waggle. When a job seeker goes through a pollinator with both the AR and JT variable, a job folder matching the rec ID and job title from the URL will be created. That person will also be automatically added into that job folder. For a more in-depth look at the JT variable, please refer to the Waggle video auto job folders from job recs on our Finally Be Learning page. Today we've looked at some of the most commonly used pollinator variables. They are great tools for collecting different types of information about job seekers. Thanks. I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you have any further questions, please ask our expert team by visiting finally.com/help.